fulfilled, and still live my life like I'm Uncle Phil. I've been about the dollar, so I chase the bills. The world is going nuts, Bible be the pill. And sometimes I contemplate an overdose. I'd rather die in righteousness, can't speak for most. I still remember nights sleeping with the toast. Plus the bar was always nasty, had it screaming gross. The Lord always had me when I was seeing ghosts. Repent or die, mama, can't you see the growth? My people need a savior, I just give them hope. And wash them from their sins, Christ be the soap. Whoa, yeah. Repent or die, baby. Yeah. Repent or die, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Repent or die, baby. Yeah. Repent or die, baby. Cheer. Round of applause for that, man. The world's going round and round and round and round. What's good, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another episode of that Repent or Die podcast, man. For those that don't know, I am Junes, the original Jew by blood, not by conversion. You know, I'm out here splurging with the what? With the word. And on today's episode, man, listen, I got something I've definitely got to put you guys on. Really got to start giving you in-depth understanding of what's going on, why these things is going on, and who are these people that's being attacked by these nonsense, man. You understand? And, you know, before I even do anything, gotta give all praise and glory to the Most High. Higher is his name. And I'm thinking about, you know, like having, you know, Bible reading and all that. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. It's a lot. You know, I was reading Second Thessalonians chapter 2, and even in that, you know what I'm saying, that chapter within the scriptures, man, that joint touches a lot. I also realized that I got spirits in me that I gotta cast out. How I know is when I open that book, I get disencouraged, and I don't know how that happened, but I know what I gotta do, and I'm gonna take care of that. Best believe that, right? Um, my day today was amazing. You know, we always gotta talk about the days. Today was amazing. Um, you guys know I'm no longer in the plantation. I'm not giving my time over to Satan. I'm doing everything that I gotta do to better me, better my brand, my family, you know what I'm saying? Starting this business. You know what I'm saying? Self-sufficiency is the key to success while you dealing with this spiritual stress. You feel me? You have to. It's a war going on outside, and we as men can't be taking on so much nonsense that comes along with this world. And you know, praise the Most High. Um, you know, I got bread sit on, you know what I'm saying, where I could just venture off and play around and do what I gotta do. Right? Right now, my whole focus literally been building up this podcast, building this brand, displaying this to the world, to the masses, and just preparing y'all, you know what I'm saying, for what's to come. You know, I know there's a lot of podcasts out. I ain't the top of the line. I ain't gonna lie, but listen, all of this is being done, created, and learned by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's no master class for me. There's no asking questions. This is me seeing something that I like and playing around. Pause. Right? But on today's episode, I just want to show you guys an experiment that was done in the 70s. And this experiment was an experiment with rats. Matter of fact, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Give you a brief introduction. The experiment was done with rats, and what they did was put a bunch of rats in a isolated community, right? Provided them with their own food and stuff like that. Like they didn't have to go hunting. It was provided, just like modern day times that we have today, where you don't have to go into the jungle or to the wild and go look for a cow or whatever to kill, to slaughter, take home, skin off, chop it up, season it, cook it, eat. You don't gotta do that. Now you can just go to the any path marquee food associate and go in there, see what you like. As long as you got the money in your bank account, you can make it out. This is what it is. So after I seen this video, right, it was only right that I also share this, because after you guys see this, you've then asked yourself, is this not us? I'm going to leave it as that. That was the brief introduction. I'm going to leave it as that. We're going to get straight into it, right? Hold on. Right here. Get ready, y'all. Get ready. Hold on. Let me see if I got something for it. That's the breaking news. Yeah, that's the breaking news. Yo, well, let's get into it. Let me move me here. And I'm
a terrifying story of an apocalyptic experiment of a paradise that turned into hell. The experiment name is
She said an apocalypse experiment that turned into hell. Let's run that back one more time. Let's run that back. Run that back, baby. Run that back. Wait. Run that back. Let's run that back.
The terrifying story of an apocalyptic experiment of a paradise that turned into hell.
Of a paradise that turned into hell. Pay attention.
The experiment name is Universe 25.
Universe 25. We in 2022. You'll see.
Why 25? Because animal behaviorist John Calhoun applied the same experiment 25 times, changing some points, and in the 25th trial, he created the most perfect universe for mice with beautiful buildings and limitless food, and then he introduced 8 mice to the population. 2 years later, the mice had created their own apocalypse. Universe 25 was a giant box designed to be a rodent utopia. The trouble was, this utopia did not have a benevolent creator. John B. Calhoun had designed quite a few mouse environments before he got to the 25th one, and didn't expect to be watching a happy story. Divided into main squares and then subdivided into levels, with ramps going up to apartments, the place looked great, and was always kept stocked with food, but its inhabitants were doomed from the get-go. Universe 25 started out with 8 mice, 4 males and 4 females. By day 560, the mouse population reached 2,200, and then steadily declined back down to unrecoverable extinction. At the peak population, most mice spent every living second in the company of hundreds of other mice. They gathered in the main squares, waiting to be fed and occasionally attacking each other. Few females carried pregnancies to term, and the ones that did seemed to simply forget about their babies. They'd move half half their litter away from danger and forget the rest. Sometimes they drop and abandon a baby while they were carrying it. The few secluded spaces housed a population Calhoun called the beautiful ones. Generally guarded by one male, the females and few males inside the space didn't breed or fight or do anything but eat and groom and sleep.
But eat and groom and sleep. That's what the females was doing. Eat, groom, and sleep. Hmm.
When the population started declining, the beautiful ones were spared from violence and death, but
When the world was in chaos, the beautiful ones was spared. Hmm.
had completely lost touch with social behaviors, including having sex or caring for their young.
They lost touch with everything. Even sex wasn't something they desired. You see that in modern day today. But we're gonna play it and then we're gonna commentate on it. Let's play.
In 1972, with the baby boomers coming of age in an ever more crowded world and reports of riots in the cities, Universe 25 looked like a Malthusian nightmare. It even acquired its own catchy name, the behavioral sink. If starvation didn't kill everyone, people would destroy themselves. The best option was to flee to the country or the suburbs, where people had space and life was peaceful and natural. Today, the experiment remains frightening, but the nature of the fear has changed. A recent study pointed out that Universe 25 was not, if looked at as a whole, too overcrowded. Pens, or apartments at the very end of each hallway had only one entrance and exit, making them easy to guard. This allowed more aggressive territorial males to limit the number of mice in that pen, overcrowding the rest of the world, while isolating the few beautiful ones who lived there from normal society. Instead of a population problem, one could argue that Universe 25 had a fair distribution problem. The fact remains that it had a problem, and one that eventually led to its destruction. If this behavior is shared by both mice and humans, can we escape Universe 25's fate?
Universe 25. Universe 25. Everything that you see and that was mentioned, I want you guys to ask yourself, who fits this criteria? That sounds like the projects to me. That sounds like New York City to me. That sounds like America to me. I'm talking about this the inner cities. The inner cities. Don't you guys understand that everything that they are doing was pre-designed? Putting you guys in the projects was pre-designed. Giving you guys public assistance was pre-designed. Because if you're receiving the tangibles and you don't have to work, meaning you don't have to do no labor, by default, you become what we have become now. We have become self-entitled, unappreciative individuals where we feel like we are entitled to everything, because when everything is given to you, that means everything must come, give me. And when you don't have it, what happened? You don't take your frustration out on the people that's not giving you food. You take your frustration out on the people that's suffering just like you. Don't that sound like somebody? Don't that sound like these mices? Don't it? Don't it? See, when I talk this talk, I talk it for a reason. Because a lot of you guys don't understand the reason into why. I don't even want to play it again. Because a lot of you guys don't even understand the reason behind all of this. Why are they so adamant on population control? Why all of a sudden in 2022, after everybody been medically inclined, there's just this high rise of shortages, uh, power grids going out, dams being, all of these things is just happening. Now we got another one coming out, the monkeypox, and the list goes on. Why now? and why. And like I tell you guys over a million trillion times, this has nothing to do with a so-called, you know what? It has nothing to do with that. The biggest problem is biblical prophecy unveiling. The fact that these so-called Negroes, Hispanics, are waking up to their heritage. They're not cleaving on to this pagan, satanic rituals, traditions, and customs. These brothers and sisters are waking up, calling on the Most High, saying, Father, forgive me, protect me. Psalms 23, as I walk to the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. When these rich, Khazaric individuals come out their house and see colored men with fringes on, seeing sisters dressed down in dresses, head coverings, that's an indication that the awakening is happening. And we need to do everything in our power to simmer that. How do you do that? You do things first, you try to brush it off like it was just another, it was just some Negroes trying to find something to cleave onto. You did that. Then you brush it out by demoralizing and making it seem like, you know, being Israel when you're, they always got to put the black in front of it. You being a black Hebrew Israelite, etc. They put it in line with all the wickedness. A guy did this, a guy did that, he did that. That didn't work. More and more people was coming into the awakening. They realized that wasn't helping. Then they bring cowards and heathens like Moses Malone, Vocab Malone. I'm saying Moses Malone's a basketball player. Vocab Malone, who comes around, want to interrogate, want to have conversation. You understand? One of these are the psyops that comes and try to demoralize, desensitize this awakening and make it seem like what's being said is not factual. They send individuals like that when they realize that wasn't working. So by default, the only thing left to do is get everybody jacked up. Because here in America, I tell you guys this all the time, you guys are no longer needed. You are not needed anymore at all. Period. Zero. You're not needed. Why? That's left to be continued. But you're not needed anymore. This is why your music is the way that it is. This is why our women the way that they are. The Most High is not just awakening his children. He's putting back the order of humanity back into the colored households, where women is taking the back seat and saying, honey, you lead this ship. Where women have no problem. Even females that's not even in the truth, that's not even awoken to who they are now saying, listen, this independent woman nonsense is a dub. It was a psyops, it was a fabricated nonsense that has done more damage to our women than anything on the face of this earth. This is a fact. This is a fact. The fact that men no longer want to sell drugs, no longer want to do the nonsense. So so what the devil do is, what they do is they try to corrupt the minds of the youth. This is what they doing now. This monkey nonsense is not gonna be for the adults, because the adults already took what they needed them to take. Now the objective is to come after the children. I've been telling you guys this for forever. And I can't even get in depth because YouTube is gonna say, "Oh, you're going against community guidelines, and here's another strike. Now you can't come on for 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then we might just discontinue your page altogether." This is what they do, fam. This is what they do, and I tell you guys these things, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is what they do. I'm telling you guys, this is what it is. It's bigger than what you guys think it is. And seeing this right here and understand what my people is dealing with, what my community is dealing with, even right now in the hood. Let me see if I can pull up this book. I gotta pull up this book, man. I gotta when you ever get a chance, if you ever get a chance for those that's watching, get yourself this book called The Illuminati 2. Get yourself that book. Within that book, it states that part of the New World Order, one of the things that they need to take away is the house structure. They want to put everybody in buildings. Like what you just saw on this video. Have the whole community with everybody in buildings, everybody on top of each other. And nobody, listen, with all of these buildings, who got space to farm and grow and do this? When you don't have your own house, how you gonna garden? How you gonna do, etc.? They taking all of these things piece by piece. They doing these things on purpose. Listen, all of these people work with each other. The bank, these Kazars, they make phone calls. Yo, who owes money on their mortgage? Who's up for foreclosure? Then hit you with this, yo, listen, man, I'll buy your house for this. Give you a number that you got no choice not to refuse. Then you take it, then they take your home. Listen, one of these days, I'm just gonna stroll through my neighborhood. I'm not even gonna drive. I'm going to walk. So you can see how much buildings is being created in a community in less than a 2-year process. Facts. And you tell me what I'm saying isn't true. What you watched just now isn't what's taking place right now. Now, the question that you're going to ask yourself is, are you still going to be asleep? Are you going to wake up and prepare yourself? Because I'm not telling you to fight the power. I'm not telling you this because this is prophetic. Me telling you to fight the power is like me telling you go against God. Not telling you that. But what God tell you to do from Matthew 24 to second address, all of these books, even in the book of Isaiah, tells you to prepare. To prepare for this famine that's coming. Prepare for this pestilence that's coming because it is coming. Best believe it's coming. America is gonna become a contaminated state. It's gonna be contaminated all across the board. It's gonna be so bad that you're gonna be afraid to hug your own parents. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I tell you guys this all the time. For those that's not situated, stay away from those that's situated. You in a relationship with one that's situated, stay away from that. Because these individuals are, and I repeat, are the contaminated and will be spreading faster than wildfire. I promise you. And it sucks that it comes out to this. It sucks when you no longer can be amongst your family. Some of y'all can't be around your mother, father, brother, people that you've been in your household your whole life. It's coming to that point where you're going to have to separate yourself. Ooh, that line has been drawn, people. It has been drawn. And the only people that's going to be coming out of this is those that endure, like Matthew 24. I'm going to leave it as that. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. Continue supporting, man. Repent or Die podcast. I'm going to edit this, upload it, ship it to the nearest social media platform near you. And hopefully you get in tune and you share this and you awaken the people, bro. This is no longer about color because even the Caucasian people is being taken out or being paralyzed or dealing with some level of heart conditions and you know, schizophrenia. They over here shaking, looking like they got Alzheimer's, looking like Michael J. Fox. Are you dumb? The agenda is to have 500 million out of 7.5 billion. do that. I'ma holla. Peace.